Alright, what is up, you beautiful people, and welcome back to a new weekly Brawl. And we're doing some more benchmarking with Fenix, as per usual. Let's see what the Brawl modifiers are. We have Forceful. Everyone gains the Forcefield ability. I have no idea what that does. Okay, well, we're about to find out, I guess. So I'm not going to put down a Legionary, because everyone starts with a Dehaka, so putting down a Legionary just means that's going to get nommed. We get Hallowed, so okay, we got some buffs on our staging area, okay. Then we got a Dehaka. Okay, what is this? That lasts 11 seconds and impedes movement of ground units. Massive units will shatter. That is interesting. That is so interesting. I can place down force fields. And it's 25-second cooldown. Does that mean melee units are cancelled this week? What the heck is this? Okay, well, I don't know what I'm up against, but... Oh, no, there's a Tychus. Oh, and we got a Manx here. Like, can I... Oh my god, I can, like, force field around... This guy's not massive, right? Okay, wait, but Dehaka can break force fields. Okay, well... I don't even know. Okay, well, I'm just gonna put down Caldalis. I probably want Caldalis somewhere where he has more attack speed. It's also a better idea as Fenix just put your hero off to the side, just because, you, kind of don't want them to die instantly. Because if you put them on the front, like right at the front, they'll like take the brunt of the attacks and everything. So hopefully here, Caldalis is a DPS god, but unfortunately he's being shot at by Tychus, so he's not gonna last much longer. Well, that's okay. Oh god, I'm against Abathur. What do I do against Abathur's Fenix? I think well, one thing I gotta do is rush tier 2. Okay, so this is entirely new. We got an entirely new mechanic, and you know what? It's about time. It's been 40-something weeks. Basically, it's been almost a year, and we haven't gotten new mechanics, and you know what? There's a new mechanic right now. And I'm gonna try and use it right now. I don't know, like, 11-second force field. Can I, like, force field around my bunker, and then protect it from melee units? That'll be hilarious. But, like, I feel like the limits with the force field are actually insane. Like, this... Like... Can I, like, force field around, like, a siege tank that I have? Oh my god, looks like there's a double Dehaka here. Anyways, like, I'm just trying to take this Brawl in here. There's 4 Dehakas. What's my team doing? We got a Manx here. Oh, no, don't buy an Aegis Guard. That's a recipe for disaster. My Legionary just got completely nommed. Jesus, Tychus being a DPS monster here. I'm gonna need a force field here. Okay. I'm gonna need a force field to knock Tychus back here. Okay, so force field can actually reset aggro. So that looks pretty good. Oh, Jesus. But, we're not gonna be able to... I'm just gonna force field Tychus back here. No, Tychus, get back. Because it's once every 25 seconds, right? So I can afford to just use it. Holy... I don't feel like this is a week for Fenix, though. Like, I don't... It doesn't feel good. But it also might also be because my teammates are also... like, Manx should not be buying royal guards. He needs LMG boys. Like, he needs so many LMG boys right now. That's a secret right now. I cannot afford the gas, I don't think. I think against all those Queens and Ravagers, what I really need is... I think Caldalis will do fine, but just Caldalis ain't enough. I think if I really need to cut through it, I'm gonna need some Immortals, or maybe I could just get some Disruptors. No, because Disruptors they're just like one pump, and then actually, well, Disruptors on Hallowed Vitality, because with cooldown reduction might be pretty good. If I want to buy Immortals, where am I gonna put them? Can I put them over here? More life, energy. I think I just need them to have more life. I don't need them to have... I couldn't get them to have more attack speed. So I'm just gonna make this guy Taldarin here. There we go. I always like to put my heroes off to the side now that I've been playing this for a little bit. I'm thinking about it, but yeah. Anyways, guys, I haven't had time to talk about any like announcements for this week because I have hit 800 subscribers. Thank you guys so much. We're actually at 840 subscribers now, which is insane. We're probably gonna have 900 subs in like, I don't know. Can we get that by like next week? Maybe that's like a little too optimistic. But anyways, I'm gonna have the subscriber live stream special. Just Fenix, just blast your way through it here, please and thank you. But yeah, I'm gonna have live stream special. I think I'm gonna decide to have it on Sunday, because Saturday I am gonna be. Turns out I'm gonna be going out to do some stuff. Mostly safe nature stuff. I've just been doing a lot of hikes and stuff. So yeah, I think I'm gonna put Fenix over here actually, because Fenix can get more energy this way, right? Yeah, I get some more energy. Yeah. Okay. Nice. But yeah, it's gonna be on Sunday, 7 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. I'm gonna change things up a bit. Until 8 p.m. I mean, not until 10 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. So we're gonna go for a little later. And yeah, if you guys can show up, that'll be great. We'll play some games together, and it'll be amazing. And that's a huge stack of Ravasaurs, by the way. Legionary Charge over here. Can I get Tel'Daran to get Gravimetric Overload? That would be great. Thank you very much. Man, Tychus is just so good right now. Oh, God. Oh, God. Tychus, Abathur. Abathur just healing up everything. Oh, we're in a bad... I think Forcefield is actually kind of bad for our melee units here. I think I actually... Oh, he walled us all off. Yeah, so melee units like are just kind of memed. I don't know if my allies are using Forcefield, because I know I've definitely been using them. Like Legionaries are just gonna get memed so hard. And who is matched up against Tychus? It's our Manx. No, Manx, you gotta stop building those Zerglings against Tychus. You can't win that way. You have to start building more. Manx is letting us down here. But that's okay. You know what? Honestly, we'll probably just play another round because like this is such an intricate brawl. Like it's so interesting. I can probably like cut things off here. I'm out of charges. Looks like our base is about to get taken out here. Jesus. I don't think this Manx has ever played against Tychus. And honestly, like you don't want to build too many Royal Guards that are short range because there's a Dehaka. Like yes, Aegis Guard do a lot of DPS, but honestly, in the long run, what you really want are tanks. Like tanks is the answer to anything that walks on the ground as Manx. Okay, so I ended up pushing into the guy who's playing red. I don't remember what he was. Oh my god, short-term memory. Short-term memory, boys. I think Alar should be pretty good against Tychus, though. So that's good news for us. Oh yeah, it's Dehaka. I don't know if I can kill it. Can I make it through Dehaka? I think I need to get, like, more Legionaries on the line here. Now, I want to say more Immortals. But I feel like I also probably want... Yeah, because, like, the side that Kaldalis is on just wins pretty nicely. Okay, uh-oh. I need some Adepts, I think, for anti-air. I'll get some... Actually, no, I don't want... Maybe not Adepts. I'm not sure. But I know that, like, the side that the Immortals are on, like, definitely just overbalances the other side. Which is great. And then Tel'Daran here with a bit more attack speed, which is great. Well, actually, his attack speed got nerfed because Dehaka just shouted at him. But yeah, a little bit more attack speed on Immortals can never hurt us here. I just realized I'm still on 1 gas. Like, I'm just like, I should be on 2 gas now, but, like, by now at least. At the very least. But I'm just trying to get out units here. I want a Colossus here. I'm gonna turn this guy into Warbringer, but let me get my 2nd gas first. Holy. Like, I'm just trying to hang on for dear life right now. We got that attack speed here. Where is that ball going? Okay, Photon Cannon has been raised. And then... That's good. I mean, Abathur has mostly Queens, so Queens are kind of useless as it stands. And I think my Tel'Daran has, like, a pretty high level of Gravimetric Overload. So that's pretty good. Did my Colossus get stolen? Of course it did. Of course it did. I'm gonna stop Nikara from getting to Sam. Oh, that's perfect. Nikara just can't get to Sam. And then I'm gonna disrupt this backline a bit. Oh man. Okay. Boom. How did we end up from losing that one to winning? I think it's because we stacked on our Nexus. Pretty sure that's what happened here. I got 11.5 range on Fenix here. Okay. Did Warbringer come out? Yes, Warbringer is out on the field right now. Look for Purification Blast, but that's still pretty strong. I guess I can go for Cyber's armaments here. There's a shock division, but I'm worried about these mutalisks. I think I have to start buying some scouts. Because I think my, like, with every Protoss commander, like, you know, as with every Protoss commander, my ground forces are super strong. It's just the issue of what we do when it comes to air. That gets memed on really hard. Like, Warbringer here doing his best. Okay, so I need to make sure those mutalisks don't see the light of day. So I think what I gotta do is buy a few scouts over here. By a few, I mean they still do AoE, and they should aggro right away. I'm gonna make this guy Mojo here. Okay, I can almost Cybros Arbiter. I feel like I don't make use of the Arbiter enough because it's pretty strong. And Alarak has some Wrathwalkers here as well. What happened to my scouts? Oh, they're dead. Okay, cool. Cool. Is Tychus's attack speed being slowed? Okay, I'm gonna try and like... So I feel like air units aren't gonna be affected by the force field though. So like I feel like air units are just gonna have such a big advantage here. Oh god. Manx's Ling's just running in there to hold it down. I'm gonna try and protect that Aegis Guard. That's not gonna happen. I mean... Oh my god, Black Hammer just getting eaten here. This is actually a very interesting brawl. I like it. It's gonna also like make the tier list a little interesting to think about. Although I think like honestly ranking a tier list like of the units, like it's never really fair because like, you know, I'm assuming like certain ideal situations, obviously, right? And the thing is like, you know, those ideal situations don't always happen, so you know, okay, it's a good thing there's so many Ravasors, because Ravasors suck against Immortals. Like, I mean, like, they don't suck against killing them, they suck against fighting against them. Alright. Oh no, he took up my scouts! Okay, whatever. Oh Jesus, do I have enough anti-air here? Oh, come on, LMG boys! And Warbringer here is just going for his Purification Blast here. Boom, boom. Like, Warbringer is honestly really the only Colossus you'll ever need. Like, he's so good. Okay, so I think I have enough scouts here for now. Maybe they're too far forward though, because I want them to engage as late as possible. So okay, so now I'm gonna get some weapon upgrades because it's 13 minutes in the game. I don't have any weapon upgrades. Alarak is probably gonna carry it for us here. He has some Wrathwalkers. I believe in those Wrathwalkers. Like there's some Guardians over here, but honestly, Guardians are just whatever. Against Wrathwalkers, like most things die pretty horrible deaths against Wrathwalkers, so I'm not really too scared here. Okay. There we go. That's the Mutalisk murder we're looking for. Fenix, you just want to go overcharge on this guy? Thank you very much. Okay, well, Fenix still has one blast left in him. Maybe I shouldn't have overcharged there. Oh well. Oh well. I mean, it's fine, I guess. Okay, so it looks like what I need is just like one more scout here. And I'm gonna gas one more time. Actually, I don't know. Is this game gonna go on for another 10 minutes? I'm gonna assume it does. I'm gonna gas one more time, and then I'm gonna stay on 3 gases here. Because honestly, not gonna lie, like the beginning was kind of tough, honestly. Like the thing is, air units like they can't get force field. Like the enemy Dehaka's wave, his mistake is going for something that's very hyper aggressive. I mean, it made sense to try and end the game early, but like, because I mean, you're against like a bunch of late game giants, I guess. Like Fenix is not a late game giant, I can tell you that much. Fenix is only average late game. But Alarak and Manx will absolutely body you in the late game. And also Dehaka breaks force fields now, so... Okay, let me see if I can just, like, mess up Tychus's wave here. Just make it so his SAMs don't get into shooting range. There we go. Like, his SAMs are stuck. It's over. Like, Tychus's wave, I think, is super vulnerable to force fields because, yes, they're heroic, but they're small enough that they're gonna get memed on. I'm gonna get my Warbringer here with my level up his Chrono Lance all the way, because Warbringer's honestly... I say Warbringer's honestly the best Colossus in the game, like hands down. Like if they gave him the ability to set the ground on fire, He'd actually be insane. But it looks like we're gonna actually win this game. And I shouldn't have gassed there. But you know what? It's fine. Manx and Alarak scaled. So that was good. I think, you know, I was a little worried for Manx at the beginning. I was like, what are you doing, man? Don't do that. I mean, I guess it makes sense to like put down all your lings on this side because it gives you extra health. But like, you going into Tychus, you're gonna need more LMG boys. Like, it doesn't matter how much like shielding you build against Tychus, right? He's just gonna moat. He's just gonna cut all of that down. So it's more about how fast you kill him. Honestly, I feel like the enemy Abathur and the enemy Dehaka just really slacked on that one. Like, you would like Ravasaurs. I feel like it's fine to get like maybe like 2 rows. So like maybe these 2 rows of Ravasaurs. But like after that, like they just stop giving you diminishing returns because like they're small, weak units in terms of HP. Their damage output is okay, right? But you really want to be getting like Impalers, right? Or like switching to Guardians earlier, right? Because you really want that long range siege that can really end the Nexus, right? And if anything, you really need something that can end enemy Dehakas. And Impalers are great at doing that, right? And I don't know. I feel like just Ravasaurs don't scale well. And then like Abathur, I don't know what he was doing, but you know, honestly, like Abathur could have just gone full air, like not Mutalisk, but like, you know, Guardians. Because his team is so ground heavy, right? So it's just like, just go Guardians. Force Fenix to fight in an element that he sucks at, which is the air. Like, Phoenix air is like, it's just Mojo, and then like, Phoenix as Dragoon form. And if those two don't like, do enough, you just lose. You just have to leave. But yeah, honestly, I'm pretty sure I got hard carried here. But you know what? We take those, and apparently I did not. I did the most damage. I don't know how that happened, but I honestly don't know how that happened. What the heck? That doesn't matter though. At the end of the day, like the units that we're pushing in were ultimately not mine. I think like maybe I was just meat shielding pretty nicely, especially with I think it's the Immortals. Honestly, let's see how the kills the Immortals have gotten. Taldarin 48, because I feel like it's just Taldarin just like eating those Ravasaurs for breakfast. And then like same thing with Warbringer here. But yeah, like the scouts are like the only scout that did well was Mojo Lamau. Okay. Yeah, no, Alarak did did get a lot of kills though. So yeah, I definitely think Alarak is doing pretty good. Wrathwalkers are just too good. All right. Well, if you guys, well, stay tuned because we're gonna get the tier list, right? All right, let's go. Okay, and we are back. Let's get right to it. So game plan, same as usual. We're going to talk about the auras, overall strategy, and commander rankings. And for those of you who have decided to, well, stay this long, I should say, and you guys enjoy this kind of content, be sure to drop a sub, because once we hit that 900 subscribers, as I said before, we are going to have another live stream special to celebrate. And I'm going to have to do something special for 1,000, so I'm gonna have to figure something out for that one. But anyways, let's go. So, Brawl modifiers this week, we got the Forcefield, right? Every 25 seconds you gain a charge of Forcefield. So it's like the same Forcefield you would get in a like PvP with the sentries that you can place down. And the last 11 seconds it can be broken up by massive units, okay? And then you can also, we also have Hallowed Ground, which is something we've seen before. And we also have Lizzt Brigade, which is just everyone gets a free Dehaka. So it's like pretty straightforward. And so I think this week I'm just sort of ranking everything based on how well you can deal with your force fields, honestly. So I want to say play a commander with like a good selection of massive units, or like just like some access to massive units that you can spam in a reasonable amount. So like, I don't know, Manx has really cheap access Ultralisk. Like if you're playing Kerrigan, you're probably gonna have Ultra. So like if someone tries to like wall off your wave to stop it from pushing into like, I don't know, to save like a building, like your bunker, for example, your Ultras can just like crush it. That being said though, like, you know, those are like, some commanders like just have to have those units in their composition. Some commanders optionally, like can optionally have those units. For example, like, what is it? I'm thinking of like Artanis with Archons. Like you don't necessarily have to have Archons, right? And like, also Archons are quite expensive, right? That being said, everyone's Dehaka is going to be eventually massive enough to just punch through the force fields, right? But what I'm thinking is just like, try not to have too many melee units, because like one clutch force field might just like meme everything up. I don't know. And the next thing is like, I'm thinking like, you probably could just play someone with strong air and just like forget about force fields entirely, because force fields don't affect air units, so you can just laugh while they like try and force field. Like you can force field your opponent, but your opponent can't force field you. Right? And then so that makes it so that you just don't have to worry about a certain aspect, right? That being said, your air units also have to be good enough to actually like, you know, make sure you don't leak and everything. So let's go and have a look at our rankings here. So I was just thinking of like, you know, like who is really good against Dehakas. times like 2 or 3 or 4. And obviously it has to go down to our man Alarak here. Alarak's Wrathwalkers are just so good in large numbers, and no matter how many Dehakas you have, those Wrathwalkers are going to delete him. And I think if you put the Wrathwalkers in the attack speed section, that'll be the best place to put them. Because Wrathwalkers, I think everything Alarak has benefits a lot from attack speed, because they all attack really slowly. And then so having more attack speed just makes them, like, just crush things. And that being said, like, Alarak is just... Alarak himself, I think, gets stuck on force fields, but, like, his Wrathwalkers can just, like, whatever, just walk around them. And they don't actually get affected by force fields in any way, because usually force fields will like, really cut your line of sight down, or cut down your range, right, by forcing your units to, like, walk around faster. Or, like, I saw, like, if you guys saw me bump a few units back, right? The Wrathwalkers just, they don't get affected. And even if they could get affected, they have so much range, it doesn't matter, right? So that's something that's going to be really important. Next up in the S, I think I'll just have Dehaka, because, like, honestly, Dehaka working with 2 Dehakas is just so good. Like, you could just build, like a full tank wave. Probably not recommended, though, but, like just Dehaka, Ultralisk, Tyranisaur, Ultralisk. And then you can follow it up with, like, maybe Ravasaurs, honestly. I don't know, Hydralisk, like something that's like a decent amount of DPS, and just shove it down. And that may be like your whole purpose, right? But honestly, like, just having 2 Dehakas just makes, like, everything you do so much easier. Or, like, it's just there's a lot more space for you to tank. So I'll definitely be playing some Dehaka this week, I think, because of just, you know, I want to get that experience. And I actually want to say Abathur is also S, because I think Abathur is S because, like, you can go ground Abathur and get Swarm Host. I don't think Swarm Hosts get affected by the force field. Like, the Locusts do, but I think, like, if you force field on top of your Swarm Host, I get the feeling that it's just untargetable, because it's burrowed, right? I don't actually know how that functions, right? But, like, you could just, like, force field on top of your line of Swarm Host to prevent them from getting hit by enemy melee units. That being said, like, your enemy range units can probably still shoot them. But, you know, that's at least, like, a little bit less damage you're taking, right? And even if you don't go Swarm Host with that, I think Abathur's Air is pretty strong. Is it strong enough to prevent a leak from units just running by? Probably not, because Guardians do single target, but, you know, if you've been committing Guardians, like, since the beginning of the game, maybe. But obviously, like, you gotta just have a look at what's happening as well. Although probably Stormhost is not the good idea this week, because everyone has a Dehaka. You probably want Guardians, to be honest, because Guardians are great at single target damage. So, yeah. And then next up, I have Han and Horner. I was gonna put Han and Horner in the S tier, but then I was thinking about it, and I was like, well, you know, Han and Horner actually kind of does rely on her, like, their ground units to do some things. And Daemos Vikings, like, are just both air and ground, and so I think Han and Horner still, like, they're still pretty strong in the late game, and against the right compositions. Like, honestly, like, I can just imagine, like, having one Daemos Viking, and then you force field around it so that the only place melee units can run at your Daemos Viking is directly in front of it. And, and that's just going to be 11 seconds of Daemos Viking shredding everything that runs into it. And I kind of want to make that happen, so I'm definitely playing Han Horner this week as well. And I want to say Tychus is A tier. Well, I know Tychus is extra vulnerable to the force field. Tychus is just always going to be good when you start off with an extra hero. Because, like, if you go, like, Dehaka and Tychus, your Tychus is just going to not be taking aggro. Your Dehaka that you get is going to be taking aggro, and then your Tychus is just going to chew up every single Dehaka he runs into, and, like, whatever, like, you know, small level tier 1 units he runs into, right? That being said, you do have to, I mean, I want to say, like, you do have to end the game earlier as Tychus, right? If you, like, don't know what you're doing, like me. But if you do know what you're doing on Tychus, like, this week you should be able to cruise to, like, easy victories, honestly, because just Tychus is very strong if you know what you're doing. I'm not the best Tychus player out there, but I'm aware that Tychus can do this. And next, I actually wanted to put Vorozun in the S, but then I was like, I thought about it, and I was like, no, I think she's better here, like, maybe A, maybe a little lower, honestly, but, like, I think just the tried and true Stalker stacker is always going to be good when you have cooldown reduction access, and this week you do. And just having more armor, health regen even helps out a lot more. Vorozun Air is okay, but I was just thinking about, like, Void Rays. Like, she can get her stealth Void Rays, right? But the only issue is, like, they're going to be attacking enemy Dehaka, and Void Rays do laughable damage to something that's not armored. So I feel like Vorozun Air is going to struggle, and, like, I don't know, I don't think Vorozun does enough damage to actually, like, cut through Dehaka. That's the thing. Like, you're really just, like, an A+ meat shield for your team, and hopefully your team does something. I think that's my verdict for this for this pick for Warzone. Like I think like you could just go DTs and stuff, but like DTs are so fragile because like they're melee units first of all. Yes, they can blink, right? I mean honestly like the sky's the limit with the force fields. Like you can save up a bunch of them and like just do something interesting with them. Like I actually don't know what I'm gonna do with them, but like this is a very interesting brawl for sure. Next in A, I have Mengs because I feel like Mengs can never really drop below A. Yes, this week everyone has the Dehaka, right? But you just got to be smart about what royal guards you build, okay? And by smart, I mean you just want to build tanks. You literally don't want to build any other royal guard this week because I mean, you could go and like get a few Sky Fairies as well, because once the Dehaka hits the massive tag, then like those are pretty good against them. But you'll need at least 4 Sky Fairies, assuming because like if you run into every single Dehaka, they'll be able to eat at least one. That being said, not everyone micros, so they might eat one of your boys instead. But it's gonna be much more boys, like LMG boy focused and tank focused, I would say. So that's basically what I've always been doing with Mengs. But yeah. Next B tier we have Artanis. I think Artanis benefits decently from the modifiers, and he does okay against like Dehaka, I guess. Like he could probably go Tempest maybe against Dehaka, like just like the Dehaka that he's up against. But then again, you have to see what your opponent's composition is as well. If anything, like he can. I think Immortals take a little too long to cut through Dehaka, though. That's the thing. He's pretty thick. But you have your Dehaka of your own, so as long as your Dehaka is distracting the enemy wave and those things line up, your wave is pretty tanky. But we'll have to see how things line up. But Artanis also has access to Archons, so if you have a lot of Zealots, you can just put your Archons next to them and they'll just crush those force fields. But yeah, I don't know. I feel like Artanis is he's not gonna be too bad, but he's gonna be decent. Next up, we have Stukov in the B tier. I don't know what to say about Stukov. I think he does everything pretty nicely. I think his civs can actually circumvent the force field because they have a jump, so that gets rid of the issue of them being melee units. So that's pretty good. I think his bunkers are actually considered massive, so I think he's the only commander with tier 1 massive units that can just like ignore the force field. So I feel like that makes Stukov decently good, but then again, it's like bunkers aren't exactly high DPS units, they're just thick boys, right? But bunkers in the center are pretty strong because of the armor that they get and the health regen. So, don't sleep on Stukov this week. And next, I'll actually say Karax, I think, is going to be B this week because of the access to +1 damage and attack speed aura for Mirages. Mirages need every single attack damage buff they can get, especially when they're up against high armored targets, right? And I think Karax this week, if you go Mirages, you can just ignore the force field mechanic entirely or mess with your opponents by collecting their entire wave in a force field and then beaming it. I don't know how well that would run. It could potentially be very good, but I feel like with practice, it would actually be insane. So there's that. But then again, the rest of your wave is going to be like, I don't know, you could just go for a ground crusher wave on Karax, honestly, but it's just, the core weakness is that, with every Protoss commander, your Air Force is suffering. But yeah. Anyways, in the next B is Kerrigan. I'm just thinking of like the Kerrigan standard, like Ultralisk, Hydralisk. I feel like that could get messed up really bad though, in terms of like the Hydralisk firing line. Your opponent could just drop down the force fields after your Ultralisks have charged in, and then your Hydralisks are lining up to fire, because they can just drop a force field along your Hydralisk firing line, and then just bump them all out of place slightly, and then they're screwed, because then they have to like walk around, and then your Ultralisks are getting no support, and then that whole wave is lost, right? But then again, it only happens once every wave, right? And you can return the favor by blocking off their wave the next time when your wave lines up, right? You probably don't want a force field on the same wave because like your wave's already been scuffed and their wave's kind of in firing position. I don't know, I guess it depends. It's hard to call this situation because like there's so much stuff happening, right? Next we have Nova in the C. So I want to have Nova in the C because yes, Nova's units are all really durable and tanky and all that, but like she doesn't have a good side. She doesn't have a massive unit that can like push through. And I'm just thinking of like your standard like DFG build. I think your Hellbats might be able to jump over the force field if your opponent is very close. Maybe not. I honestly don't know. But yeah, like Nova's wave can just like, especially if they cut off your Goliaths and your Goliaths and your tanks with force fields from your Hellbats just die, and like now it's just your Goliaths, and it's like, oops, it's over, right? But like that being said, like that probably only happened like once or twice a game, right? At most, right? So Nova overall is still not too bad, especially with like the life or like the center aura, which is pretty good on any unit that has a lot of HP and armor. And Nova can like really snowball off of those. So you probably just want to have like that's the issue, right? Like you want to capitalize on that aura, but then like you might get force field into the ground. But we'll see. We'll see. Next we have Zagara in the C. Zagara's main problem is that she just takes time to ramp. Once you start buying abs, force fields are not going to keep them away, because if I remember correctly, they're massive, so they're just going to walk through everything. But it's just scaling. Zagara just needs to scale. Like that's her only weakness. It takes time. But once she gets there, once she hits critical mass, you should be able to do Zagara things, as per usual. Next in the C tier, I actually have Stetman. Stetman has the best ultras in the game, but they're also the most expensive. And the only thing that you want to use to like hold it down is probably Banelings. And Banelings are terrible against Dehaka. So no, that's not it. That's a no-no. And you know what? Hold on. I just realized, like, Nova could probably just go Libs and Dehaka. But then again, you gotta see what your opponent's composition is. But anyways, yeah, back to Stetman. Banelings kind of suck, and I feel like they might just get messed up by force field. Like I feel like if your opponent force fields like a line in front of your Banelings, like they're just gonna be like, what do I do? Like they can jump, but I feel like your opponents have to be closer, right? And so I don't know. I don't think Stetman has many things working for him, but yeah, I actually don't know. Like I feel like Stetman might just have to just go pure like Ultralisk Baneling sort of thing and just like charge it down. Not like it's just kind of like what he's doing with Dehaka. But yeah, like he also has to deal with Dehaka, and like I don't think Stetman has a DPS unit that actually does very well against a large target. Like I think every time I've faced like say Tychus as Stetman, I'm just like, I don't know what to do. What do I do here? Like it's like Battle Carrier Lords. Ooh, that gets eaten. That's like 600 minerals down the drain, right? But yeah. Oh yeah, and also that's very important. That's why Tychus is A, because like he has that Dehaka to like add some flexibility to what he can do. But yeah. Anyways, we have Fenix in the C, because I think Fenix he doesn't have a massive unit that would walk up through a force field. And a lot of his power is in his short range units. So his legionaries, his adepts, his immortals, right? They all have 6 range or less. And so you could easily like cut off Phoenix's firing line from his front line that just charged in and then obliterate it, right? So that's kind of problematic for Fenix. And then like you can also take Phoenix in the air into an air fight, and scouts are eventually going to lose at some point. I don't think scouts will go even against like most things that fly, but I don't think they'll actually crush most things that fly. I think the only things they can crush are like Mutalisk. I think, but that's only with Mojo. But other than that, like scouts are just not going to be able to win Phoenix that air supremacy. Like Kalarian might be able to hang in there, but like, you know, he's a carrier, and you know what I think about carriers, you know. So yeah, and there's that. And then finally in the D tier we have Swan. You know, I might be sleeping on Swan this week actually, because the force fields might be exactly what he's looking for to protect his own tanks, but I don't know if force fields can unsiege your tanks. Because if force fields can unsiege your tanks, then like it's over for Swan. Like it's actually over, because his tanks take 4 seconds to siege up. They're super fragile. Yes, they do a lot of damage, but like if they get unsieged by force field, that's it. That's it. But we're about to find out. Like, because I'm saying I'm sleeping on Swan because Swan can technically just go. Like he can use force fields as like a second Thor line. Like the Thor stun barrage, he can use as a second line of that. And then that can just give his tanks more time to stay alive and fire and just stall out the game a bit more. But Swan's front line is once again like short range. It's going to have to walk in, and he has no massive unit that can break through it. Or he has a Thor, but like Thors don't walk up into melee range and punch people, so like that's not going to really work out. So yeah, I don't know. We'll see. And then finally we have Raynor. I'm thinking Raynor's here because in order to really deal with Dehaka, you kind of have to go bio. I don't see Raynor Air being that like Raynor Banshees being too strong against enemy Dehaka. Like they can definitely cut through Dehaka, right? But then like everything else that you have to deal with. on the ground, right? Rainer bio and ground and like mech with tanks is like Rainer tanks don't do enough. Like they're cheap, but they don't do enough to like non-armored targets. So like that's gonna be rough. And maybe your best bet is just going Hyperion. I feel like your best bet is just going Hyperion and then just playing it from there. Cause I don't know, like Rainer has a hard time dealing with big chunky units. As evidenced by his very tough matchup against Tychus, and Manx as well, right? And so in this week's Brawl, it's also made worse because Forcefield can cut off your firing line from your front line, and that means your front line goes in and dies, and then your firing line isn't able to deal lots of DPS, and then your firing line gets chewed up, and then it's over, right? So we'll see. I mean, I'm not too worried about the force fields for Rainer tanks though, because he has fast siege. So like, even if they do get on siege, it's like whatever. We'll just siege up again, right? I'm just worried for Nova tanks and for Swan tanks. But yeah. Anyways, guys, if you guys enjoyed this tier list, be sure to leave a like. If you're not yet subbed and you've made it to this point, do consider dropping a sub. And always, if you guys have some other perspectives to share, I am totally down to hear them. So be sure to let me know in the comments. I want you guys to tell me, like, you know, you're just like, oh my god, Woodjuice, I can't believe you ranked this way. Like, I'm always interested to hear. So yeah, until next time, see you guys.